Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I am here today with a reading vlog, and in this reading vlog I am going to set a challenge of sorts for myself, in which I try to see how many books I can read in 48 hours. The thing is, this is take 2 of this whole challenge. Like, I have like 20 GB of footage of the first take sitting in my laptop, but that didn't go according to plan because there were a lot of things that came in between. So I was like, okay, I didn't give my all to that take, but this one I have to, and there's a reason also for that. So as you know, I have a library over here. What happened was there are a few books that I have to return by 31st. So I thought, why not turn this into a challenge? Today is the 29th of January, and I have exactly 2 days in which to finish these books and return them. So I thought I'm going to try and read them before 31st. So how this challenge is going to go is that I'm going to start this challenge at 6 o'clock. I think it's already 6 o'clock. I don't have my phone with me. Great decision, by the way. This readathon, or this reading challenge of mine, starts at 6 p.m. on 29th of January and ends at 6 p.m. on 31st of January, after which I'll have to go and return these books. So the books that I want to read for this challenge, that I have to read for this challenge, are, first one is Brooklyn by Colm Toibin, Irish author, and this is a book that was adapted into a movie starring Saoirse Ronan. I think she won an Oscar for this. I'm not really sure, but I've heard good things about this, mixed things actually, but the good things are really good. So I thought I need to read this. This is like 250 pages, so I'm hoping that I will be able to finish it today. The next one is The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. I've had my eye on this ever since I went to the library for the first time after coming here, and I was like, that looks beautiful, because there's a dictionary and there's words in the title, and it sounds great, and the cover is great. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it. And then one of my current reads, which I'm stuck at. I've not been able to make any progress on this, and that is The Memory Librarian by Janelle Monáe. I think I will read this first and then move on to Brooklyn, so that will be a huge relief. And then don't fall. And then there's Silka's Journey by Heather Morris. For the first take of this reading challenge, I finished reading The Tattooist of Auschwitz, and I liked it. I mean, it was breezy somehow, given the topic it was talking about. It was surprisingly breezy. This is also a book that I really want to read. These are the 4 books that I technically want to finish. Anything more than these is going to be a bonus. I'm going to go change into something more comfortable and go sit in a place where there's a fan, because it's boiling hot. Okay, so you know how I said I was going to finish this today and then start on the other books in the list that I was talking to you about? I DNF'd this. In my defense, I gave it like 85-90 pages before I was like, nope. Okay, this book is an Afrofuturistic collection of short stories, in which Janelle Monáe has collaborated with some other authors and brought out stories set in a brand new world. Like, I'm floundering over here, please understand. But what has happened in this whole quest to bring out a very futuristic story is that the basic setting of the stories is not done well. Like, we know that you have to introduce the characters, you have to introduce the plot and everything else in the flow, but somehow what this collection or what this book does is it tries to make the reader put everything together. It's so convoluted, it's so complicated, the whole plot and the language. It's up to the reader to make out what exactly is going on in the story. And that is not something that you should put on the reader. Storytelling is to be done by the authors. I mean, the concept is great. Memory librarian, dirty computers, about memories and state surveillance and all of this, it's great. But the implementation is so unnecessarily complicated that it just doesn't make sense, because it uses complicated language, first of all, which is not needed. You can put your point across without coming off as too flowery, and it just seems a little too wannabe for me. Do see, then again, this is just my personal opinion, but however short that story is, if you don't have a base, if you aren't setting the foundation, if you're not setting the context and just going on like a steamroller and thinking that okay, the readers will find it out, I'm going to show them, not tell them, which is important, but they have to have some sort of context to it. Without context, the whole premise of the short story is going to come crumbling down. I mean, it's not going to have as deep an impact as you actually want it to. So that's why I DNF'd this book. I'm really sad that I did though, because I really had hopes from this. I was going to DNF it in the first 10-15 pages, but then I saw someone talk very highly of this and I was like, okay, fine. Now I'm going to give it another chance. And I actually even wanted to give it like another 70-80 pages. At least half the book. But when I restarted reading this, I only got through not even 10 pages. I got through 8 pages, which before I was like, no baba, I can't do this anymore. So here we are. Now I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to do a little bit of video editing for a video that will go up today. So wish me luck. Okay, so it's just past 11:30 and it took a long time for me to actually finish editing that video, upload it and the whole and I'm finally here trying to get started on the second book. Of course, it didn't start, the whole readathon didn't start off that great, what with the first book becoming a DNF and all of that. But this is something that I'm looking forward to starting, and it is just 250 pages, but I don't know if I can finish it tonight. So I'm just going to sit here for quite a bit, and make sure that I make some progress on this book. Brooklyn by Combe Toybin, I think. It's been 3 hours since I started reading this, and somehow I'm only 95 pages in. This is a story of Alice Lacey, who goes from a village or town in Ireland, from an Irish town, to America, to Brooklyn, this place, and her experiences over there and how she misses her home and how she feels homesick living in a new city, and wanting and craving for someone to talk to, and how she deals with all of these emotions and the people who are there for her during this time. So far it's a pretty simple read, simple as in language wise, it's pretty easy to read, but it also has a weight that I can't really explain. But I was expecting to have gotten through a lot more than just 95 pages, but 95 pages is also quite a bit, so I'm not going to downplay whatever it is that I have read. So it's way too late. I still have my chamomile tea to go, so I don't know if I will read anymore or if I will what I'm going to do, but I will see if I can make any more progress, and I will check back in tomorrow. We are closing in on the end of our number 9 of the 48-hour readathon. It's the 30th of January and we are 4 hours past the 1 day mark and I finished another book. So that brings my tally to 1 DNF and 1 completed book. But this book has just made me super angry. The book, as you know, the one that I was reading yesterday, it's called Brooklyn by Colm Toibin. And this is about an Irish girl who goes from Ireland to Brooklyn to make a name for herself. I think this is set during the 1950s or something, and she goes there to make a name for herself. But she is the most listless, unopinionated. She doesn't think for herself at all. I don't want to use this word, but she's like a doormat. She lets people walk all over her. She lets people make decisions for her. She goes to Brooklyn because her mother and her sister made the decision for her. And over there also, whatever she's doing, she doesn't talk about anything that's happening to her. She was like, okay, fine, I will talk, but I won't. See, I get it that there are people who find it difficult to talk in situations like this. I know, I am one. So many threads the author brings forward, so many possible threads that he could have followed, he could have pursued, but nothing comes of it. There are so many interesting tacks. When she goes back from Brooklyn to Ireland because of something that has happened, then also she doesn't make any choices, but she has to go because she has to go. And then towards the end, the decision that she makes is also because she is forced into a corner and not because it's the right thing to do. Otherwise, it's all like, I'm going to think about it tomorrow, I'm going to do this tomorrow, I'm going to do that tomorrow. How many tomorrows will come? And there is one point which I absolutely hate in real life as well as in fiction, although I feel like in fiction we are mostly used to seeing it as a sort of a character study or something, but that too I feel very icky about. I am not comfortable with it at all, and that is there in this book, and it does not give any color, it does not lend any color to this whole white canvas that this story is. It's a very quick, easy read, and even after that I must say that it's a very infuriating read. I don't know how those two come together. I don't know how it makes sense for a book to be quick and easy and breezy while being infuriating. Towards the last 20-30 pages, I got so frustrated with this A-list character that I was just like, what? Can you please stand up, like talk? Because this is much more than just a teenager going out for a dance. Talk, because there are so many lives involved. Why don't you just... I had hopes from this one. I don't know why. Was it because the movie that was based on this book was Oscar winning, or was it something else? I have no idea. I mean, the first few pages of this book itself, they sort of got to me, and I was like, okay, so this is going to be that kind of a book. It's going to be slow. It's going to seem like there is absolutely no point whatsoever to what the author is talking about, but we see what we see. I wanted to put this down and just go to sleep. Towards the end, this book just made me want to... So I took a small break. Obviously I had to have dinner. So I took a small break, and then I will start reading Silka's Journey by Heather Morris. This is the sequel to The Tattooist of Auschwitz, and I'm hoping that I will be able to finish this tonight, even though there are like 400 pages. But as The Tattooist of Auschwitz has proved to me that the writing in these books is pretty flowy, and not in the way that this one is an easy read, because this took me like a full like 20 hours to read. But this one, I feel like it's going to be a quicker read than this one, and that's saying something. This is 250 pages long. This is 400 pages long, so imagine. So it's 1:10 in the morning of the 31st of January, and I have been getting some progress done on Silka's journey by Heather Morris, and this is the story of Silka, who's a part of the Tattooist of Auschwitz as well. We see her in that, and the author has said that this is based on Silka's life, but not all elements are true. Silka, once she got out of Auschwitz, she was again tried by the Russian army for working with the enemy, and no consideration was given to the fact that she was a prisoner. She was forced to do what she did in order to survive, and whatever she did didn't actually lose any innocent lives. I mean, it didn't take any innocent lives, but yet she was forced to 15 years in prison in a Siberian gulag. We follow her story here, and how when she goes to that prison again, she's sort of taken back to that other place, as she refers to it, because she just doesn't want to talk about it. But she's also now got, for lack of a better word, experience in such situations. So yeah, I'm 75 pages in, and the narration is good, the way it was in Tattooist of Auschwitz, but there are a lot more details to this, and in some places it gets a little repetitive. No other complaints from this, so I'm going to read for a little more before I put down the book for the day and go to sleep. Hello, today is the 31st of January and I have to return a bunch of books, but what I did was I knew I couldn't finish this one, so I've renewed the book so I can read it at comparatively more leisure than before. But there's just 3 hours to go before my reading challenge ends, and if I manage to finish what I'm currently reading, then I will have finished 2 books and a DNF in 48 hours. I don't know how this has happened, because just a couple of weeks ago, in 36 hours, I read 3 books plus a few pages of another book. But never mind, it's okay. I just want to make as much progress as I can on the books that I am reading. So yesterday the book that I started reading was Silka's Journey, in which the author tells Silka's story of what happens after World War II, after German occupation and after concentration camps, and when Russian soldiers take her into custody and accuse her of consorting with the enemy, and they put her in prison for 15 years, and what she does in that prison to stay alive, to survive, and how she affects the people around her is this entire story. And I think I've already mentioned this before, but this is supposed to be a mixture of fact and fiction, as the author has said in a foreword. The last I spoke about, I think I was about 95 pages in. I don't remember how far along I was, but I've managed to finish 200 pages. I'm at page 200 now, I think. Yes. And it's been a hard-hitting journey, this one. That's all I have to say about this at the moment, but I'm going to have to hurry up and finish this because I need to return it today, and I'm hoping to finish this before 6 so that I can go to the library and hand over all those books. So it is 2:45 right now, and I have 200 pages to go, and I don't know if I will be able to get this done, because I'm planning to click a couple of pictures before I can hand the books over. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to click a few pictures in a bit, and then go inside and sit down there and read. I'll meet you there. Hi there. So as I said I would, I came and I'm sitting here inside because I need some quiet so that I can finish reading this. I don't have my phone, I don't have any sort of like timing, which is probably a bad idea because I need to check the time also, but we'll get there. Once I finish my coffee, then I'll go to put this cup, then I'll check. It's just 5 minutes to 5 and I'm on page 307. There are 401 pages, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get through all of the book before 6 o'clock, but I will be able to finish it today. That's for sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read as much as possible till 6 o'clock, and then I'll wrap this whole video up. I'll go to the library, return the other books, finish this, then return this, and then come back home. That sounds like a plan. As for this book, this is about how Silka is surviving, right? So what the lengths that she has to go to in that Russian prison, and the things that she has to do, and how she helps the people around her, how she tries to make her life as well as the lives of the people around her easier given the circumstances. That's what this whole book is about, and every single page just breaks my heart. And I know that the setting is such, the topic that it's talking about is so heavy, it's draining something out of me. Heather Morris's writing is flowing, it's easy to read, other than the fact that you have to constantly put the book down because you have to take a minute to absorb what's going in, because it's so heartbreaking and it's so gory and violent because of the setting. Again, you can get through it pretty quickly, but that is what is like delaying me reading this faster than I thought I could. So it's the end of the reading challenge that I set for myself. I think it's just crossed 6 o'clock in the evening of the 31st of January, and I have to return these books, so I'm prepared to go and return them. But I was not able to finish this one, so I'm going to do what I thought I would do, which I mentioned in an earlier clip. I will go there, sit down, finish, return, and come back. Okay, so I'm just here for a quick wrap up. I mean, there's not much. Apparently 48 hours isn't enough time for me this time to finish as many books as I can, but maybe not the problem, but yes, the problem is the books that I actually picked for this. I thought I could get through these, that they were going to be easy to read and that I would fly through them, etc, 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 but I couldn't, because the very first book, The Memory Librarian by Janelle Monáe, was a DNF, which I've obviously spoken about. Like, I read about 10 or 12 pages and then I was like, nope, I'm not doing this because I have better books to get to. Okay, I did that with this, and then I picked this up, which made me super angry for various reasons, which I've already mentioned before. Okay, I finished this. This is 250 pages. I took one whole day to read this. Fine, I finished this. And then I came to this, which I haven't been able to finish. But if I had been given an hour extra, maybe I would have been able to finish. But then again, it's a deadlock, it's a loop. So I have about 65 pages to go before I can finish this book. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go sit there, read, and etc. I've already spoken about this like 10,000 times in this vlog before. But yeah, these were the books that I managed to read during these 48 hours. I actually wanted to read another book as well, which is called the Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. But that didn't happen. I actually renewed it and I'm hoping to read it. Aram se. So yeah, that was me attempting to find out how many books I can read in 48 hours, and apparently that's not a lot. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I actually got through this book, which I was going to return it without reading, but I'm glad I did in any particular way, because now I know what this is all about and what the hype is all about. So those were the books that I read during these 48 hours. What did you think of this video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of the books that I read or DNF'd for that matter? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.